What's up, YouTube? Today I'm going to do a review of my full custom homemade Browning M1919 Airsoft machine gun. The whole thing, like I said, is entirely homemade from the ground up, and it's all built out of PVC, not ABS like some other guns. So this weighs a little bit more than some of the other replicas out there. Like I said, the whole thing PVC here. The barrel, legs of the tripod is all 1 inch, and then pretty much the whole body there is all 3-inch PVC that was flattened in the oven. So I made a boarding out of it, and then I was able to glue it together or bolt it together. As far as the design goes, I went off of a design from Kill Buckets. I purchased his plans and used his plans for a couple of the components, such as the cover, rear sight, or the sight bracket there, side panels, but pretty much the whole back handle, plate, barrel assembly, and tripod is all my own design. So I really only use his design for looks rather than internal mechanical components. So inside here you guys can see the Airsoft components. As far as the gearbox, I actually used a Matrix MP44 gearbox in there, which I was able to get for really cheap. I think I paid like 35 bucks for it off eBike. And it was really nice because the trigger was built right into it down here. So the gearbox sticks out a little in the back, but I can still access the trigger very easily, and it's still, partially realistic. It's not perfect, but I'll live with it, because like I said, the gearbox was like 35 bucks, and I didn't have to reroute the trigger or anything like that, so it really worked very nicely. And then a hop-up, I used it's an ICS hop-up unit for a M3 grease gun. I don't know if you guys can see that real well, but it's for their M3 grease gun. And then the barrel is actually a stock barrel that a friend of mine was able to get to me. It's 550 millimeters, about 6.04, which isn't terrible. It's just a stock barrel. Yeah, so that's that. Rate of fire is really nice on it. It fires about I'm currently running it off a 10.8 volt nickel metal hydrate battery, and with that, it's giving me 17 rounds a second maybe. So nice rate of fire for a machine gun. FPS is sitting around 400 because it's got an M120 spring in it. I don't have a front sight on it yet. Still working on that. Rear sight, as you can see, it's not terribly realistic because I actually did it to a similar to a ground to air sight, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense on a 30 caliber, but it still looks really cool. A bolt isn't functional. There's no real moving parts on it at all. The sight kind of folds down and back up, and then of course the dust cover moves up and down so you can access the hop-up chamber. Yeah, but that's the only moving part. The bolt doesn't move at all or anything like that. It's all stationary. But you might be wondering at this point why I have an orange tip on it, and the answer to that is I didn't want one on. But I have some very anal neighbors around here who, when they hear machine gun fire, they don't really like it a whole lot. So I have to have an orange tip on because sometimes they call the cops and it gets really bad, and I get in big trouble if I don't have an orange tip on it. So I decided to keep one of those on. As far as a feeding mechanism, I actually built a box mag for this using a M4 high cap magazine, a battle axe, automatic winder, and some more PVC. I'll show you guys that here. All right, here's a box mag. As you can see, it's still in progress. I haven't painted or put a lid on it or any hardware or anything yet. I still have a couple minor feeding issues. I'll do another video of this whole thing when it's completed. So check out my other vids. But basically, like I said, there's a high cap mag in there. And down below it is a battle axe, a speed winder, and I basically, you can pull this up. down in there. I ran it to an external battery pack running on 2 AA's that goes in there to the battle axe, and then I pulled out the switch on it, and I ran the switch up into this this servo wire. So now I can plug this into the gun. There's actually a switch on the gun here, on the handle right here, and that's the switch, and that runs to another servo cable coming out. So I just plug the two in, and then that'll activate the box mag for it. And then the battery is also held in here. There's an extension wire, which again, there's another wire back here, right there, that that plugs in to this, and then you plug your battery in here, and then this ramp goes back in there. Now I was thinking, a lot of people thought it was crazy that I ran, you can see the wire up here, and that I didn't run it underneath and use all this storage underneath it. And the problem with that is sometimes the battery dies. You'll fill this thing, because this will hold about 5,000 rounds. I was able to fit 5,000 in here pretty comfortably. But if you fill that with ammo, say you got like 3,000 rounds in there, and then your battery dies, trying to dump all the ammo out, pick this thing out without spilling ammo all over the place, just a real pain. So I just decided to keep the battery up top so it's easily accessible if it died in the middle of a game. And then for tubing, I just used, this is a 5/16 inch inside diameter vinyl tubing, and that just friction fits onto the bottom of the hop-up. And it feeds pretty well. I'm still getting minor jamming issues up here, so I haven't quite worked that out yet. Plus, I need to tweak the length of the air nozzle just a little bit. So once I get that finished, then I'll go ahead and mount the hardware, get this whole thing painted, and get it done. So yeah, that's the box mag. I'll hook a battery up to this so you guys can see a rate of fire real quick. Alright, so I have a battery connected here. This is a 1600 milliamp 10.8 volt battery. It's a really crappy battery. I got this off eBay. I got like 2 of these for 25 bucks off eBay. It's a really cheap battery. I'm not even sure what the manufacturer is, but for this they work. Cause you know, like, this doesn't even have great internals anyway. But here you go. So there you go. You can see it's a pretty nice rate of fire for a machine gun. It lays down a lot of plastic downrange. So I think it'll hold up to the competition. But there you guys go. Full custom Browning M1919. Still have a little work to do on it yet. You know, like I said, I have to tweak the air nozzle a little bit, get that thing sorted out, get it painted, and then hopefully the whole thing will work really well. But there you go. You can see it just looks really great. It looks really cool, especially from the distance. You get a guy back there, it just really looks pretty cool. Adds a whole new level to the game when you have one of these things out there. I did get this hooked up. Like I said, the box mag was working for a little bit, but then I started having jamming issues up top. And I actually brought this out in a quick game in the field I have set up in my backwoods, and I was able to block off, because we were playing like a capture the flag kind of thing, and I was able to block off everybody. I was parked this thing about 10 feet in front of the flag, and nobody touched that. It's incredible. No, this doesn't even have the greatest range or accuracy, but no, it's just so intimidating that no one wants to come near it, and it was really pretty sweet. And since the whole gun, it swivels 360 degrees, I mean, I could just take them out no matter what angle they were coming from. It's really pretty sweet. And then you never run out of ammunition. If you do, you just pop it open, and you can dump a lot of ammo in there and reload very, very quickly. So it's a really neat gun. It's been a lot of fun to build. It's taken me a while, but it's been a really fun project. So here you go, guys. Post, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll catch you next time.